Alright guys, welcome to my YouTube. So I thought I'd just make a little welcome video to explain what this page is about. So as you may or may not know, I have a lot of cats. I'm not a professional, I'm not even a foster person, I just take in cats that need a little home. So all my guys are either long-term residents of shelters or they were about to be put down. Or like the kitten here was really sick, he'd been abandoned by his mum and was living in a carport. Had cat flu, had lice, all that sort of stuff. So they're the sort of cats I take in. And this page is just going to be separate to my TikTok to do longer form videos to answer questions you guys might have about what I've done for my cats and what works for them. And then just longer form videos of the horde as well. So we'll do, this is Mr. Fluffy, he's the oldest resident. He's 12 years old. And I got him, he was the first cat I ever got in this current horde. And him and my old boy Tig, who was 16 and blind when I got him, who's since passed away. They'd been in a shelter for 9 months because they were a bonded pair, and Tig was blind, an old blind ginger cat. No one wanted to take Tig. So I got them. And then I got Romeo next. He's got CH, cerebellum hyperplasia. So wobbly cat syndrome. So I was asked by the same shelter if I could take him because they knew I took Tig, who was blind, and he'd been adopted out and then returned twice. So I took him in and he's been with me for about 2 years. Then I got Lettuce. She was bred very young, at about 7-8 months old. And then dumped, I don't know why she was then surrendered to a shelter, but all the kittens were adopted out, and then I got told aggressive behaviour, but whatever, I don't see it. So I got her for Romeo because I needed a cat closer to his age to play with him, and because she had just lost all her kittens and he was a kitten himself, I thought that might work, and it did. So I picked her up. She had been in the shelter for 8 months as well. And then when Tig passed away, is the old boy, I ended up getting Pudding. He's about three and a half now, he'd be. He was, again, long-term resident of the shelter. A lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. He was considered very hard to adopt out as well. Had been in there for like 7 months, I think. So brought him in, done a lot of work with him to get him up to where I could even pat him. So he hid under a bed for like 5-6 days before I even saw him when I brought him home. And then that was a fall for a long time. And then this is Poseidon. He's a little kitten. I actually got him, his brother and his sister, but I've moved them on to new houses and he's stayed with me. So his mum was a feral, abandoned when he was 5 weeks old. He was living in a lady's carport. She didn't have the means to take him to the vet and sort him out and do all that. So I scooped them all up, took them all to the vet. Again, I'm not associated with a shelter or anything, so I did all this on my own money. He had cat flu, lice, worms, all sorts of things. And then the little bug is imprinted on me. So we've kept him. Haven't we, darling? And then 2 weeks after I got him, we went and picked up Oscar, because Oscar was a little emergency one. Because I no longer deal with shelters anymore. I don't even go into shelters anymore. Oh, no, kitten. He's not ready to see you. Out. We picked up Oscar. So I've got rid of the kitten. I'm sorry, Oscar. So Oscar is a 10-year-old male. And he lived very happily with one family for 9 years. And then they had a child. And he took a swipe at the baby. So they decided to get rid of Oscar. The lady managed to convince her brother to take Oscar. And he's who I got Oscar from. And look, to his credit, he was very honest. He doesn't like cats. He doesn't like pets. Never wanted a cat. And he just didn't know how to fulfill, and he admitted he didn't know what Oscar needed and how to fulfill his needs. So they went to the vet to talk to it, and the vet said, well, because he hid for so long when you moved him to the brother's house, and he's an older cat, we'll just put him down. And then that got back to me, and I said, fuck that, give him to me. So not an ideal time to take a very stressed, anxious cat in. Like Oscar, especially with the new kitten in the house. which is causing a couple of issues, but we're dealing with it. But yeah, so we've scooped him up. Oh, pardon me. And he's doing well. He was under the bed for 3 days when I first got him. He's a bit stressed now because we tried an introduction yesterday and it just didn't work out, so that's okay. So we're going to let him get back comfortable in this room. But he hasn't gone, he's back out from under the bed. He's eating, he's pooping, doing all the happy things. Let me pat him before. The kitten running into the room right now wasn't ideal. But he's dealing with it and he's slowly getting there. And I have all confidence that with time, patience and a bit of love, I'll get him integrated with all the other cats. And look, if it doesn't happen, I'll find a family with either one cat or no cats to take him, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've seen he's very stressed, he's very reactive right now and very anxious, but I've seen signs that he's gonna fit in. But yeah, so that's it. So that's the current horde. And who I am and what I do. So I'm just a guy with cats. And the reason for this YouTube is to essentially, do longer form videos. If you guys want any questions about specific things I do with my cats, or if you just want to see or hear me talk about random things, and I'll just throw in random things as well, we'll do that. And it's honestly, that's it. So thank you if you got this far. Hope you enjoyed this page.